That's all I've got.
Oh, yeah, that's all it's got. Ooh, yeah, that's all it's got.
If you're a person who values energy conservation, and yet a person who puts a value on living above ground, why not reconcile the two and build a house that you can raise and lower as needed? Let's say you live in a land where the cold is a bitch. Why wouldn't you want to lower your house underground at night, and at times when you're not at home? On the coldest of nights and days, the underground temperature would be relatively temperate. And by the same token, if you live in a land where heat is a bitch, why waste money on air conditioning when asleep or away? Oh, and how quiet it would be underground. No barking dogs or hollering drunks or neighborhood domestics. Not even a nuclear holocaust could disturb your slumber. And I, for one, would enjoy the same sort of silence during the day at times. Assuming an abundance of skylights, the tranquility of it wouldn't come at the expense of natural light. Now, sometimes it's not one's neighbors, but oneself who wants to make noise. Maybe you or the person you bed is a screamer. Maybe your party carries into the wee hours. Maybe you've always wanted to fire up a chainsaw in the middle of the night beside a sleeping child. Well, you could indulge all of these things without disturbing your neighbors by simply lowering your home. And with the simple click of a button, or just a remote. And if you really wanted to impress, you could add lights and a smoke machine. I'd probably do something like that just because I'm vain. Alright, so these recordings of mine have a tendency to drag on, so let me just quickly list off some of the other benefits I see. First, with respect to security, there are many among us who are paranoid, extremely paranoid, and the prospect of living in a bunker at night might appeal to some. And in fact, in some places, I'd want to live underground as well. You know, downtown Johannesburg, or say Detroit. In some areas, too, there are serious concerns about tornadoes, hurricanes, forest fires. In all of these cases, being able to just sink your house underground, let it all blow over above, well, you probably wouldn't want to stay in your house if there were a forest fire, but nevertheless, you'd at least spare your home. And in fact, even if you had a house fire, if you were to sink it underground and deprive it of oxygen, with a good seal above, yeah, you could put a fire out in your house in no time as well. Oh, and of course, you'd have a sweet yard garden, if and when you'd want one. You could have a rooftop patio that you could use when the house is above, or if you wanted it to be at ground level, because you're hosting a soiree, a garden potter, then you could just lower it down. Now, I suspect that some will immediately say, oh, the energy that you'd need to lift and lower the home would more than enough. No, because you actually do recover a good deal of energy when lowering the thing you've lifted. My sense is that you would, in fact, save a great deal of energy. That said, I'm a bit of an idiot. I was trying to think of something nicer to say, but that was the first and only thing that came to mind. So, yes, someone less idiotic probably could weigh in on this, but my sense is that you could do it efficiently. Now, of course, you wouldn't necessarily need to have a home that would lift and lower in its entirety. You could selectively lift various rooms at any given time, in addition to being able to lower the entire home. So, in the event that there's more than one person in your home, and you're not totally lonely, well, there'd be no reason that everyone would need to be either underground or above ground at any time. Oh, and further to my idiocy, I'm not entirely certain which particular type of jack would be ideal in this instance. There are all variety of mechanical and pneumatic and hydraulic. I just put hydraulic down because, well, it was the first thing I drew.
So there's about the house that lifts and lowers, alright? Hope you enjoyed it. Nighty night.